How's it going, you guys? Welcome to the final episode of Playboy Conversations, also the final episode of our section on texting. In this, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about how to find out if she is just legitimately ghosting you, and what to say and text a girl who you feel like is taking a long time to respond or she's not really responding to you. This is something that happens to everybody, you guys, so don't beat yourself up. It's fine. When you're going out there and talking to women and trying to make things happen and, make progress with them, get a date, improve your dating life, like all of those things, like you're going to experience rejection, and that's okay. What's not okay is using the fear of rejection to prevent you from taking action. All right. I know a lot of guys, they spend a lot of time staring at their phone, and that's what I want you guys to avoid. I've said this at the beginning of this section, but really that's something that if you feel like you're doing this at a lot, there's something missing from your life. Yeah, you're not getting fulfilled from your regular life enough. Okay. So before I get into that sort of stuff, let's talk a little bit about what to send a girl when you feel like she might be taking a long time to respond or she might be ghosting you, those kinds of things. So one thing that you guys want to get good at is you want to get good at re-engaging people. When you're texting somebody, you don't really know when the conversation's over. They might just walk away from their phone midway through, and then you don't hear from them. And so sometimes people will be like, oh, did I say something wrong? Or, is she ignoring me? Maybe she just got interrupted. Maybe her boss started talking to her. Maybe she, got a phone call from somebody else. Or maybe she just put her phone down and walked away and went somewhere else. I don't know. But the point is that you worrying about it, you debilitating about it, is not going to make your life any better. And in fact, if you start doing this, you're probably going to text her some needy, desperate, like low value kind of stuff. And that's not going to make her into you. That's going to make her realize that she's dealing with a person who's very insecure. And she doesn't want to get with that guy, So what you want to do instead is basically always assume the best. If a girl doesn't get back to me, I just assume she got busy with something else, or has something else going on. I don't always blame myself. All right. And as a result, when I text her, I re-engage with positivity. I'm always positive. There's no reason to be negative. Okay. So when I, text her, I'll text her something funny that happened to me that day. I'll be like, you never guess what happened today. Dot, 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 dot. Make it exciting. All right. Or I'll just send her something funny about how I was eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I discovered that, it's so delicious when you just have the peanut butter by itself. Okay? That might be a freaking, I just came up with that on the spot. It doesn't have to be that crazy. You can make something fun out of anything. Okay? So I would start with something funny that happened to you that day, and then you could even just say that at that. You don't even have to ask for a question at the end. But if you want to, you can put something like, hey, how was your day? After you say something funny that happened in yours. Okay? You can also text her just something silly and insane. Typically if a girl hasn't responded to me in a few days or something like that, I'll just text her something crazy like, hey, you want to rob a bank? Or I think I'm pregnant with your child. Okay? That's just so fucking ridiculous that if a girl reads that, there's no way she's not going to respond to it. All right. Now, what you have to understand about these kind of silly attention-grabbing things is that they're usually not going to solve the problems that you had before. So if there were problems before, then it might not be enough. But this works sometimes if the girl was just busy with something else and she got occupied with it. Okay. So don't expect it to solve your problems, but expect it to be able to pick up the conversation again in case there was an interruption or something like that. All right. Now, in the event that she doesn't text you back, even after you send something crazy, you can send one more text saying something like, "Are you alive?" ? And if she texts you back saying anything but, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't talk to you. How are you doing? Let's meet up sometime." If she texts you anything but that, then what I want you to do is I want you to delete her number, stop following her on Instagram, and basically cut all ties with her. And don't do it. You don't have to block her. You don't have to do I don't think any of that's necessary. Don't make a big deal about it. Okay? But you want to eliminate that person from your life because obviously you seeing that person is going to make those feelings happen. You're going to feel feelings of bitterness, rejection, and it's just not going to help you move on and be able to talk to somebody else. All right? Okay, so get good at re-engaging. Re-engaging is fine. And too often I find that guys, because they're so paranoid about being needy, that they hold a lot of their self-worth into not being that. So for instance, I meet a lot of guys who say, oh, I will never double text a girl. That's not true. You can double text women I would double text women all the time, and they usually almost always respond. And it's because I'm coming from a place of confidence, not a place of neediness. Okay, I don't need them to text me back. I text when I want to text. And that's where I want you guys to put yourselves in. But if you're in this space where you're constantly like micromanaging, oh, she texted me one time, so I'm going to text her one time back. Oh, she texted me twice. Okay, I can text 2 times. Like, that's not really where you want to be. It's a more free-flowing conversation. And I want to text her what I want, not what I think she wants. That's an important distinction. So doing that, you're gonna just be, your life's just gonna be a lot easier. You're gonna stop worrying so much about life and texting and women, and you're just gonna be a lot happier. And on top of that, you're gonna get a lot better results with women, because like just going by that, they can kind of tell like that's where you're coming from. Okay. Now, if you do find yourself in this position where you're constantly looking at your phone, your life needs to make some improvements. And unfortunately, I don't have time in this particular module to help you out. Now, if you were in one of my coaching programs, I probably could. So I think there's a link at the bottom. You can schedule a call with me if that's something you're interested in doing. But even if you're not going to do that, what I would recommend that you do is kind of cultivate a lifestyle where even if you take the women out, if you take the women out of your life is still pretty good. Because if your life is bad and your life is not making you fulfilled or happy, and you look for happiness in women, not only are you going to have trouble finding women to make you happy, but once you do find those women, you're going to be far too dependent upon them. Okay? You want to already have a cool life and find someone that makes it better. But you don't want to have a terrible life and hope somebody's going to save you. Okay? Only you can do this. No other women can do it for you. And on top of that, if you look for them to be able to do it, they're not going to want to spend time with you or hang out with you or like you. Okay? So anyway, that's my message for this, you guys. Again, if you are continuing with this into the next section, we're going to talk about the differences between men and women. We're going to talk about how to actually talk about sex, escalate, basically be more of a sexual being, and get more sex in your life. All right, cool. I'll see you there.